This is Her Confidence Her Way podcast, episode 37. Are you feeling not confident? Are you telling yourself, no, you're not good enough? You know you can do more, and you know you're better than who you are right now. Well, it's not time for you to give up on who you are. Welcome to Her Confidence Her Way podcast. I am Miki Rasmussen, a confidence building coach and a host of this podcast. Each week, I will bring you a guest or a lesson that will help you to break through your self-limiting beliefs, fears, and barriers so that you can start building your own confidence and do what you really want to do without worrying about someone else's opinion and start living a meaningful life. We all have a gifted talent that no one can copy, and we're here to let our talents shine. So don't limit yourself. Are you ready to begin your journey to your confidence breakthrough? Let's go. Today's episode is brought to you by Audible.com. I love learning and I love reading about self-help, female leadership, and any professional development books. But I'm a mom of two, and I'm also a full-time working mom. And I got no time to sit down and enjoy some tea and read in a quiet room. Lucky me, I found Audible, and I'm loving it. And I have been a user for over a year now. And I just cannot live without it now. You can listen to your favorite book during your commute, while you're cooking, cleaning, or folding your laundry at home, or even while you're working out. For you, yes you, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to get you the opportunity to check out their service. Get a free Audible download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/therealglobalvoice, or you can go to my website and click on the Audible 30 days trial. I love free stuff, and you should definitely try it. Hey ladies, welcome back to another episode of Her Confidence Her Way podcast. I am your host, Miki Rasmussen. I must say, I am back to the podcast, so I am super excited to be here. I decided to take some time off while my kids are on vacation. Or I should say, while kids are on summer break. To be honest with you, it was really tough. Having kids at home, and kids are not going to any summer camp or anything because we decided to save some money. Phew. Don't get me wrong, I love my kids and I love my family. But I know who I am as a mom, that I cannot be a great mom if I am watching my kids 100% of the time. I wouldn't say that I am wrong on this, and everybody has a different opinion and different perspective on this, but being a mom doesn't mean that you have to be a mom 24/7. And for me, I can be a better mom and better myself if I work on myself as a career woman and come home and be a mom and have some fun with my kids. With that said, I would like to share a great lesson that I have learned, which is saying yes to something is saying no to something else. Once again, saying yes to something is that you are saying no to something else. For me, I was saying yes to something that shouldn't be a priority. Of course, podcast is very important for me, but podcast shouldn't be a top of the priority above my family. And because I was busy with working and watching my kids at home and trying to release my podcast and do coaching, and it was just a lot. And I knew that I was not being in a moment to spend time with my family. And I also noticed that I tend to be very frustrated and raise my voice, and I was not being the best version of myself. So that's why I decided to take some time off so that way I can enjoy myself with my kids for the rest of the summer. So next time I have learned this for next summer, I'm still planning on releasing podcast, but I'm gonna take some vacation, summertime off for during so US, which is gonna be like June to the middle of the August. I will take some time off for sure for 2018. That's something I have learned, and I want you to really think about the importance of saying yes to something that should be your priority. Because if you're saying yes, you're saying no to something that you shouldn't be saying no to. Okay? So, speaking of putting a family as a priority, I just had a quick conversation with today's guest, Miki Sturges. In the episode, she will mention about she will be going to Japan, in which that happened already. And she was just sharing her story and how great she had a vacation over there, and she also told me this story. So what happened was, when she was in Japan, she was still trying to work, and she was really frustrated because she couldn't get her internet working on, and then her husband told her, "Miki, what are you doing? We're on vacation. Put your computer away." And that was her wake-up call for her. Sometimes being a mom or being a busy career woman, we forget how busy it is, and I feel like as a Japanese woman especially, we're trying to make everybody happy because we were told not to put ourselves first, right? And put everybody first. And we forget. And sometimes we do need that wake-up call. For me, I was lucky enough to realize it by myself. But sometimes we do need that wake-up call. So, with that said, I would like to introduce Miki Sturges. Miki Sturges is a mother to her 3 boys, wife, and a mom entrepreneur. She's the founder of Mamapreneurs Club, which provides a space for mom entrepreneurs to be encouraged, inspired, empowered, and make connections. Also provides resources for those who are pursuing work-at-home business or taking their business online and to the next level. She enjoys online marketing because of its flexibility and reach of the global market. She's involved in local women's group, semi-professional choir, her church, and her boys' school, while balancing being a mom, wife, and a work-at-home entrepreneur. Her ultimate wish is to empower and encourage mom entrepreneurs to get out of their pit and reach for their higher calling and lead a lifestyle they desire. Miki shares her very personal story of being emotionally and physically abused by her ex-husband, and how she came to a point where she said, "This is it," and made a decision to take a step out of the scary situation she was in. She kept years of abuse a secret, since she was brought up to keep her troubles inside and not to disgrace her family. She also felt ashamed that she was stuck in such a terrible relationship. She admits that it took many years to finally being able to start sharing her story. Though she is still scared, she decided to share her story in hopes to reach out and empower more women who might be in similar situations. All right, here's my conversation with Miki. Hi, Miki. How are you doing? And thank you so much for coming to Her Confidence, Her Way.
I'm super excited. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here today.
Yeah, I'm super excited. So I have Miki Sturges here. So why don't you tell us a little bit about you and what you do?
Okay, so my name is Miki Sturges. I am a mother of 3 boys, and I've been here in the United States for 30 years, over 30 years, and I am a mompreneur. mom and entrepreneur,
Mm-hmm.
work at home. I have been involved in network marketing business for 7 years, and I have done some coaching, and I'm a founder of Mamapreneurs Club. And new business started, which is LuLaRoe clothing retailer.
Yeah, that's super exciting.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure you're going to tell us more about it later, but I'm part of your Facebook community and I love it. So,
Thank
okay.
you.
So, can you tell us your why? So, I want to hear your why story. So, why did you decide to do what you're doing and how did you come up with your business idea and yeah, all that?
Okay, so I was thinking about this. Why do I do what I do,
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people have like a passion and that kind of things. Well, what happened was I was in Southern California, um, Orange County for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
So during that time, I just went to work. I went to work and I was in a corporate world. So when my second baby was born, I was determined to leave. I just wanted to quit my job and be at home.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, after my third baby was born, there was an opportunity to move to Colorado. And my husband actually wanted to raise children in the country. So
Mm.
I said, okay, it's no problem. I'm pretty mobile. So I said, let's go. So we moved here. What a culture shock. I mean, from Southern California to this small town of 100,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, it was less than 100,000 people. It was like 80,000. And I was just culture shocked. I was totally almost depressed.
Mm-hmm.
And there were, problems. And that was a trying time. And so my two little ones were very little. My
Mm-hmm.
third one was a baby, and the second one was like 2.5.
Mm-hmm.
So I joined MOPS. Do you know what MOPS group? It's
Mm-mm.
moms preschoolers group
Okay, okay.
locally, and that was very very active group. So I was there, and so at the end of like every year, they
Mm-hmm.
have something called like a spa day.
Mm-hmm.
So there was this lady who came and did the spa day for us. And I
Yeah.
was thinking, that is good. That was a body shop at home.
Mm-hmm.
So the retailer Body Shop
Mm-hmm. Yep.
uh, in Southern California, you go to the mall and you find things there.
Yeah.
But here, because that is a mall and
Oh,
there was no
okay.
body shop. So I would
Okay.
start buying things from her. And I asked her, how do you do this? And she said, well, you can become a consultant. And I
Uh-huh.
said, sure, I will do that. And then, so that's how I started. So it wasn't like I wanted to like own a business. I said, well,
Mm.
I can do this. I can, gather some friends and have a spa day.
Yeah.
So that was my beginning of my network marketing. And then that moved
Wow.
on to doTERRA essential oils. Um, and meanwhile, I started finding joy in doing this,
Mm-hmm.
especially with the doTERRA business. It started growing. So
Mm-hmm.
it shifted from just selling oils to, hey, I need to motivate these women, and inspire them, encourage them, and have them help them see their success.
Yeah.
And I totally liked that. I liked that
Ah,
more so. I enjoyed that part more so than just selling oils. So
gotcha.
that's how it just evolved. And so my why has changed. Now that I know that I can make decent money, not just
Mm-hmm.
pocket money. In the
Yeah.
beginning, I was thinking, if I can make $150, that's like,
Mm-hmm.
buying shoes or
Yeah.
clothes here. That would be fabulous. That's what I was thinking,
Yeah.
because my husband makes money. So it's,
Yeah.
it's not like I
It's like a side
need.
income. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I said, and then I started, my first check I saw was 800 something dollars. And I was thinking, oh, I can make more money with this, you know?
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, so now I started putting more efforts into it. And so my why has changed to, okay, well, I can contribute to the family income. I can maybe set aside some money into my boys' college funds. And maybe we can my income can contribute to vacation. So
Yeah.
that's how it evolved. So now my why is my family. You
Oh, I love it.
know,
Wow. Okay. That's
it's
a really, really good story. Thank you so much for sharing. And I love how you are have like moved from selling to now I'm like, okay, I not only I can do this, but I want to empower other women too. And I love that.
yeah,
It wasn't just about you, but also, you turn into about you to about other people to help them. So I love that
yeah,
story. Thank you so much
yeah,
for sharing.
yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
So this is one of my favorite questions. So we all were born with a gifted talent that no one can copy, and the world is waiting for you to use it and let the talent shine. So I want to know, what is your gifted talent and how you're using it.
Well, that's a great question because I don't know about you, but it was very hard for me to say I'm gifted in this way. You know, I don't know if anybody can relate, but I am one of those people. No, my story isn't significant. Oh no, I don't have that. Some people say, "Well, you sing beautifully." No, 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 no. I'm not professional. I just like it.
Uh
That
huh.
kind of
Yep.
things. So when I was reading that, I was thinking, "Oh man, this is so hard." But I have been told, this is what I've been told. So if you can't find it, ask yourself
Yes.
why people tell you,
Uh huh.
let's say you are talented in this way,
Yeah.
and then you will find yourself, you started
Yep.
finding answers, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
started to listen to other people. People tell me I'm a really good encourager
Mm-hmm.
and I inspire people and I am good at helping.
Mm-hmm.
And also in a practical matter, I'm pretty good organizer. So I
Okay.
like to organize things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a chaos right now, but but I'm usually an organized person.
Uh-huh.
So those are in hospitality. I love having people over. I love just making people feel comfortable.
Yeah.
That's my
I only know you for like few months, right?
yeah.
But I can already see like how you are really good with like and being inspired, like very you're the inspiration, and you inspire others, and you are good with like encouraging others, by
Yeah.
just watching your Facebook live. It's just like I can feel your energy. So
Oh, thank
I
you.
totally see that's your gifted talent. So thank you so much. Okay,
Thanks.
so let me ask you a few but quick and super fun questions. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. So the first thing is, what is fun fact about you? Just tell us about you that no one maybe not gonna guess or whatever that is.
Okay, so I don't know. Maybe people can guess about this, and then people make fun of me. Is I hate frogs. I hate toads and frogs.
Oh
And
no.
I I'm almost like phobia. I have a
Uh huh.
phobia. If I see it, it's like, ugh, just give
It
me.
is kind of disgusting, but you know what? Having three boys, I can only imagine like you guys are. I mean, your husband and everybody, they like to be outside, right? And the
Yeah.
boys, they like to pick up bugs, right? So I
Oh
would
yeah.
assume that they will pick up any frogs or toad and then bring it to you, no?
They know.
Oh, good. But when
They
they're little,
know for sure. Because yeah, I I make sure that they know that I hate them.
yeah.
So, they'll come in and say, "Hey, Mom, I think you would like to hear this." And I say, "Why?" And he says, "We saw a garden snake swallow a toad." I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's great."
Oh, okay, because they took.
Took care of, the snakes
Oh, the
took
snake
care of
took care of
them
it. Oh,
for
that's
you.
cute. The boys are thinking about you with that.
Yes, I know. Horrible. But that is one thing that it just first thing it came to my mind when you say fun facts. I was like, I don't know if it's a fun facts,
It is.
but I have to make everybody know that I do not appreciate them, even
Are
those
you? Are you
statue.
okay with the little cute ones? Like, sometimes they have the cute ones. You're like, no, you want to stay away.
No, I want to stay away. There was a legging. There was legging.
Oh, no.
I had a little cute frogs,
Uh-huh.
and I said, oh, yeah, that's cute. It was like kero kero keropi,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So it was cute. So that is okay, but it's not something that I would buy
Yeah. For
for the kids,
sure.
maybe.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is super
Yeah,
fun. Thank you.
yeah.
Okay, and then tell us like one thing that you were facing with a fear, but you did it anyway.
As far as business is
It
concerned,
can be
or
anything.
so video.
Oh,
So,
really? You
oh my
look so
goodness.
comfortable with
Oh my gosh.
videos.
Okay, so with my business, which is Mamapreneurs Club,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to do a featured mamapreneur on video, but
Mm-hmm.
I did that on blog first. I
Right?
just send the people, questions,
Mm-hmm.
and they will answer, and then I
Mm-hmm.
will just put that on the blog. That was
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
And but as I was thinking, I have to do the videos,
Right.
otherwise people would know true colors of the people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And about maybe more than that, 5 or 6 years ago, the mentor I'm
Mm-hmm.
following,
Mm-hmm.
he kept saying, "You have to get into video. You have to do
Yeah.
video." And I was like, "No, I don't want to." That was part of my fear and also self-confidence,
Mm-hmm.
that I just didn't have that. And
Mm-hmm.
what happened was I went to Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was in Disneyland, you're like, you have to be in the line waiting for the
Mm-hmm.
ride.
Yeah. Yeah.
I went like this and watched everybody
Uh-huh.
in this frame.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, she will look good. Yeah, he will look good. And I kept doing that. And pretty soon I realized I was doing that to everyone. Everybody looked good.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Everybody
Yeah.
had uniqueness, and
Yeah.
and so I said, so if I do that to everybody, if that person did it to me, I wonder if I would look the same. They will say, yeah, you look fine.
Yeah.
So that is, I kept telling myself that. It still took 2 years after that to
Mm-hmm.
to
Yeah.
start. But the business coach that I hired last year, she said, just do it. You just have to start doing it. Just do it.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And so I said, okay, I'll just do that. And
Yeah.
that's when I started doing it, and I feel more comfortable now
Oh my
than
gosh. So you've
before.
been doing this interview. So you have an interview show. How
Yes.
long have you been doing it?
I started in November, I think,
Oh
last year.
wow. Okay. Oh, so that's like the same time as I started my podcast.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Oh,
podcast
awesome.
was another one that I was thinking, but I haven't jumped in. I just, do this video, and
Well,
it's basically a vlog.
yeah, but now you can just strip all the audio and then just send it into podcast. So you got it.
Nice.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. It's really fun. You and I talked.
Mm-hmm. Oh
Also,
yeah.
your
Yes.
episode is coming up in July,
Woo
but
woo.
yay. But that's I I love just listening to other people talk,
Yeah.
and bring out all these stories out of them.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love it. And thank you so much for sharing that. I'm pretty sure there are so many other people out there who are just like scared of just being in front of video. And nowadays, if you're trying to, I'm talking to like specifically for like those people who are doing like online business, like video is one of the things that you
Oh
gotta
yeah,
have it. So thank you so
right.
much for sharing that. I know we have to start somewhere. You don't have to be
Yeah.
perfect, but you just have
Yes.
to do it, right? So thank you
Right.
so much. All right.
Yeah.
So can you please take us to your journey to break through your self-confidence? So moving from Japan and living in US, there are so many, well, it is a huge adjustment. And I'm
Yes.
pretty sure you have faced lots of barriers and the roadblocks and anything. So I want to know, what was your biggest barriers, and how did that barrier affect you for your life?
First of all, I didn't even write this down. It just came to me. Is that when I first got here, I went to a dorm, their school dorm, and I quickly realized Japanese common sense cannot be applied
Yeah.
here in the United States.
Yeah.
So I thought I have to like throw away all my common sense that I have, all the ideology that I have, and start new. And that's when I realized I can be myself. Yes!
Yeah.
Because in Japan, I was a little bit off, I think.
Somehow I can picture it. I don't know why.
In Japan, when you say, when you are, let's say somebody says, do you have any questions? You're supposed to keep your mouth shut, right? Just
Yeah.
be quiet.
Yeah,
I'd be
not
like,
supposed to
yeah,
ask.
I have a question. And then everybody will look at me like,
No, you
your
don't.
mouth. Yeah, so I was already like that, and I got in trouble several times at school after the class or something. My friends will come over and go, "Why did you do that? You shouldn't ask such questions." I'm like, "Sorry, but she asked. She asked if I had a question. I did."
Yeah. And I love where did I hear this story about when you went back to Japan and then, you're at the Hoji or some sort of.
Yes,
And
yes.
you,
Obo-san did the osekyo, and then he said at the end of the osekyo, he said, if you have any questions, please, いくらでも聞いてください. And I'm like this, and my mom elbowed me really fast. It goes, no, you do not, ダメ! And I was like, okay, I won't ask questions, but he asked.
but he welcomed all the questions. Why can't I ask questions?
Right. So I said I was going to ask, where is my dad going after this? Because that was my
That's a good
father's.
question to ask. Yeah.
I wanted to know I'm a Christian, so I have my own belief, but I wanted to
Right.
know where the Buddhist,
Buddhist side. Yeah. Yeah.
So I wanted to ask. But yes, my mother quickly stopped me.
Oh man. That's a good one.
So there are different things happened in this journey. Like I said, I've been in the United States for 30 years. And I was married before. So this is my second marriage. So I think I have gone through, some tough situations. And one of the big thing that I went through was the domestic violence abuse. And when I first got in, he was bad boy on the campus. And I grew up in Japan. I was a graduate of Joshiko, the women's
Yeah.
school. I wasn't too, I was into boys for sure, but I wasn't sure about how to date, especially when you come here.
Yeah.
Everybody looks handsome. Everybody looks like a good guy, because they know how to treat women, right?
Yeah.
Supposedly. And this guy was no exception. He was a bad boy on campus, but he knew how to charm women. So I quickly got involved with him. I even didn't tell my parents that I was living with him and got married with him. So that from the beginning, it was wrong. I did wrong. I was young, and I repent, but I was young, and I was with him for 13 years, and from the beginning, he was very controlling. He would punch me, kick me. He would shove me into the wall. That thing happened a lot, but first I was afraid, right? I was afraid.
Right.
So I was. I thought it was okay because I did something wrong that I wanted to address in this interview because it's sort of hard topic to talk about.
Right.
Is that when I first got involved with him and he kicked me really hard, and I was bruised. And I contacted one of my Japanese friends. Told me she was older than me. And when I was talking, どう思う? And she said, he must love you so much because you did something wrong and he cares so much that he raged at you. So she almost turned around that I was the cause, but he cares so much that he did that to you. So you won't.
Okay. Uh-huh.
It's very skewed. But when I think back, I think that is very Japanese because when I said I wanted to get out of this relationship, I couldn't talk to my parents. I just didn't want to know. And I talked to my sister, and my sister said, can you just work it out? I'm like, I'm down with this. He put a gun to my head. I cannot live like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I almost had to like convince her, this is it. I'm not going to go back. But still there's this, well, you have a child, nobody's going to want you if you now with a child, it's a lot of thinking, there are a lot of things in the background.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to dishonor us as a divorced woman, all these things. I don't think we have anybody in Japan that, in my family, I don't think anybody's divorced. Maybe one, which I don't know anything about. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The honoring and pride, and those things are very prominent in Japan.
Right. And then also the term, if you are divorced and then you have a kids from the previous marriage, in Japan, the Japanese term is batsuichi.
Yes.
And that sounds so negative tone. And I
Very.
don't know much about, I don't even know how you write it, but I assume batsu meaning like that cross bats, right?
Yeah.
That itself gives you like, if you are divorced and you have kids and you are just, I don't know, like I can't even find the right term in English, but it's just you're not a good person because you are, you're
you're not, you're not tolerating, you're selfish almost, and batsuichi come from, the koseki. When you register for your marriage,
okay.
they cross it out
Okay.
when you divorce. That's why they call it batsuichi. They cross it out. And I'm my thing is crossed out.
Yeah.
So I'm batsuichi. But I think that was, him putting gun to my head was actually a blessing in disguise, because until then, I kept telling myself, I have a boy, I have to stay. And somehow we went counseling after counseling, and we went marriage counseling or counseling of myself, try to find a way and try to not let him bother me, trying to say, okay, how can I stop from making him mad? Impossible, right?
Yeah.
Because it's his problem, not mine.
Right.
So when he did that to me, I said, it took me back because he brought the gun out and he pointed at me, and I was like, okay, you know what? I cannot stop you from getting mad. I cannot control your emotion. So why don't you just go ahead and shoot me? Just shoot me.
Oh, geez.
I can't live like this. And he like lowered the gun and said, you're so crazy. And so it wasn't him who was crazy. As with me, it was crazy. So I said, okay, I'm crazy. That's fine. If you want to kill me, just go ahead and kill me. I cannot live like this. And so after that, he sort of walked away. So I took that chance and locked myself in the bathroom. I just didn't know what to do because my boy was
Right.
sleeping in the other room. So I didn't want to leave him, but
Right.
so I'm like, I went to the bathroom, my one bathroom. I locked myself. I just sobbed and I said, you know what, whoever help me, whoever. So at that point, I sort of lost confidence in God. And my dad was already passed away. So, I was just thinking, Dad, just if you are here, could you please help me? And I just cried and cried. And after that, of course, this is a cycle of domestic abuse. The abuser feels so bad. He comes around and apologizes, right? And that happened. He apologized. I'm so sorry. You made me mad. So I'm sorry, I won't do it again. I won't do it again. So at that point, I just said, okay, let's just keep it. In myself, it was done.
Yeah.
Right? But I wanted to keep peace because I had to have a plan to escape.
Right.
So I just kept quiet. I said, it's okay, and but so my escape was going to work. So I'm so glad that was one thing that he didn't want me to do. He didn't want me to quit. Even after the
Right.
baby, I wanted to quit.
Yeah.
And he said, no, you're going back to work. I said, okay. So when my baby was 3 months old, I went back to work.
Yeah.
So, but that was a good thing because I had a good job. And my boss was very nice, understood what's going on. I mean, they were shocked because I kept this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I could go back to work, but I contacted my pastor, and my pastor's brother happened to be assistant DA. So he gave a lot of advice, and that's how I escaped. But anyway, I think that probably was the most difficult time, because I was like, I had to tell people, I had to tell my mother, because he was calling to Japan. He thought I went back to Japan because I went to a domestic shelter, and I
Shelter.
couldn't say anything, right?
Yeah.
So he was calling my mom in Japan. Of course, my mom didn't know because I didn't tell my mom.
Yeah.
And my mother was so worried. So I called from the shelter. I called collect call. And at that time, we weren't using too much internet. So, that's what I did. And I told her. She was like shocked.
Yeah.
And even then she was like, oh, what about Yoshi, who is my son, this. And I said, don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. Just don't take the phone call from him. But he called several times.
Yeah.
Asking about me and stuff, So, but even that time, I didn't even think about going back to Japan. This is home. This is my home now. And of course, with my child, we couldn't go back.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh my
That was
gosh.
a difficult time. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much. I'm like having goosebumps like all over just hearing your, the real story. So thank you so much for being, transparent about sharing the story. So
It took a while.
I bet
have to tell you, it took a while.
it's hard to even share your story. So yeah, I really appreciate it. So from there, how did you overcome that? And then how are you different after breaking through this situation?
Okay, so when I think about it, first of all, my faith grew. For a while, I was struggling. But so I couldn't even go back to church. But my pastor, he is such a gifted pastor from Southern California. He called me one day and say, hey, how are you doing? How is everything going? That was right after Easter. It was like really a resurrection. And I said, I feel really bad. I feel ashamed. I'm embarrassed to go back to church because I went through this stuff. I'm going through a divorce, and I just feel very too embarrassed to go back. And he said, no, that's when you need it. That's why you need support. You need to come, don't feel bad. You don't feel embarrassed. Just come back. So I took that offer and went back to church. And that's when I started saying, I have my fault. It wasn't just, of course, there are points where I was just too strong-willed, maybe. And maybe that's why he had to hit me to stop me. Of course, there's no reason for anyone to be, physical like that. But not without my fault either. I was always like maybe pushing or whatever. So I really learned to rely on God. Hey, God, I'm sorry for what I've done, but you need to help me in my faith, and you need to strengthen me. So that was one thing that I've done. And so my faith has grown really leaps and bounds. Another thing is, this is, it sounds easy, but it's not, because for me, self-confidence is a journey.
Yep.
You might have a little bit more confidence when you're 20s. If you're still young, but I'm my 50s, and
You don't look like
have
you're
a little
50.
you have little bit more confidence when you're 40. So the interesting thing is, I was very confident when I was in Japan. I was one of those people who would give my friends advice. They will come to me for advice, and I will give them advice, right?
Yeah.
And I lost that during that marriage, because I was always told, you're nothing without me. You couldn't even be here in the United States if I were here with you. All these things that I've been told, I believed it. So my 20s and 30s, I sort of lost that confidence. I was working, I was making good money, and I was even into the managerial positions. And I was a director of human resources and legal affairs. I had all that, but I didn't think it was enough. So I had so much fear of leaving him, because I wasn't sure if I can make it. But I was making good enough money,
Yeah.
But I was like, but I couldn't see that because of
Right.
my self-esteem is so low. I don't think I can make it. I don't think I can make it. Oh, I need to hang on to him because I can't make it. But when I got out and start having, of course, I went through therapy and counseling. Not without them, I did go through that.
Yeah.
Having those counseling and everything, it did help me. And of course, meet pastor every week and really, immerse myself into God's word. And so that's when I started to come out a little bit. But even now, I still have little issues, and I don't think it will ever go away. And say I cannot never.
Right.
I don't know. Can never say it's like, oh, I'm so confident. Oh,
Yeah,
nothing
no.
bothers me. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
People do. When people say something, I would say, oh, really? Did I do that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it does happen. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much. So, wow. This is a really, very heavy topic. And, once again,
Yeah,
thank you so
I'm
much for
sorry.
sharing. No, yeah, because this is something, we talked about it, but,
Yeah.
there might be other women out there who might be in the same situation as you are, but they're just so scared. And my hope is that maybe one day someone will hear your story, and if they're in that situation, and then then they will feel like, okay, this
It's
isn't,
okay.
it's okay, it's not my fault, and to
Yeah.
just really ask for help and really think about, okay, it's not my fault, and I don't need to hang on to him. I can be
Yes.
independent. And yeah, so thank you so much. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I think so. I can I say this?
please.
Like you said, domestic violence issue is very hush hush, especially for Japanese women, I think. So this was like long while back, maybe about 20 years ago. My friend told me, so she was in Japan and her brother, not husband, her brother was very abusive. So she, being in America, she went back to Japan and stayed there. And she said she called the police, and the police came. And, police didn't even come, and said that it was a family problem and they needed to
Yeah.
solve that there with themselves.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, here she is trying to call the police. Hey, you need to send somebody. This guy is going to kill us, right? But she's told, no, that's your domestic issue. You need to solve yourself. And so I'm thinking, I don't know now though, probably more proactive in Japan now, but at that time it was like that. So, Japanese women tend to think that,
Yeah.
it's their fault,
Yeah.
or they need to, they see a beauty in gaman. You know what I mean? 何でも我慢しなさい. It's like, no, there's no beauty in that.
Situation like that.
Yes, there are
Yeah.
certain situations you might have to, but don't kill yourself in that. Yes, that's not beauty. And, sometimes you do have to see the situation, but like I said, there's no way, there's no reason for anybody to touch other person, shove or kick or punch. I know that men, tend to like, fight, like my boys always wrestling. That's a different story. But I tell my boys too, say you never ever touch a woman. Even if she gets you mad, even if she's, pushes you. And I might have done that. I might have pushed once in a while. I do that with my husband, and my husband is like, back off. So, like my husband is very calm. It's totally different, personality.
Yeah.
He's very calm, but even he says sometimes, he says, Miki, you are pushing my buttons. So I quickly back off, but instead of him, my ex-husband was one of those people, you're pushing my button, boom, that was it. So that's the difference. There's always area. This actually can be said for women too.
Yeah.
Just because we're women doesn't entitle us to hit your husbands. Sometimes I see that. So we have to, it's basically a respect issue for both sides. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much. So speaking of a woman, not only we struggle with, those barriers, you just talk about, one of them is the domestic violence, but we also face, I know this is something you've been kind of like talking already, some cultural and social expectation, like such as you said, we have to be patient, and, we have to do gaman, right? You have 我慢しないといけない, and, because of your woman, you have to stay at home and cook, and, you shouldn't be, raising your hands and ask questions, like whatever that is. So, I want to know, what was holding you back to do whatever you really wanted to do as a woman?
Actually, like I shared before, I was not too inhibited even when I was in Japan.
Yeah.
So I think I've done most things that I wanted to do. I was just a little too scattered. So I wasn't,
Do you think that when you're in Japan, I feel like, the strong-minded woman or a woman who speaks their mind, they tend to be like people tend to look at those women and saying, oh, like she's too strong or she's too arrogant, although it wasn't that. So have you had that experience as well?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so let me tell you a story. So when
Okay.
I was trying to get out of that situation, I was still working, and then I was in the company, the Japanese company. So we dealt with Japanese people coming from
Right.
Japan, right? The executives. So one of the executives that I became friends with, he and I were talking, and I think it was could have been a dealers that I took. I used to take them to Japan, and I used to translate and stuff. So when I was talking to him, I said, I'm thinking about divorcing him, and I'm thinking maybe I should go back to Japan and teach English or something.
Yeah.
And he goes, Miki-san, don't. So I said, why? And he says, Miki-san, motenai. He said, he said no man would want you. So I said, what? I'm trying to make it pretty myself, and I'm a good catch. I'm a good catch. And he goes, no. Men will be intimidated by you.
Right.
They do not like you. They might want to sleep with you, but they don't probably want you as a wife. So that really caught me off guard. I was like, whoa, seriously?
Yeah.
Japan is that backwards, but that's how it was. And then we still we still laugh about it. I'm still, keeping in touch with him. And then I say, this is what you told me, some years ago. And then he goes, still the same.
It's still the same.
And then he admires me for it. He calls me Aneki, and he admires me, but he doesn't. Yeah, that was his own honest opinion, and I believe it.
Yeah.
Because I guess I'm too intimidating to men, because here I am, in a position of authority, especially in the corporate world, and telling people what to do, and that is not a good Japanese woman in Japan.
As in the image, that is true. Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much. I know I asked you that question in the middle. So did you get to answer all what you wanted to share? Was it what you wanted to say?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Yeah. It's just like a funny advice, but I think it's, I'm so glad that he gave you honest advice. That's all what I can say. You're such a beautiful woman, and you're a capable woman, and sometimes it's like.
I think so, because in Japan I probably is not going to be liked. I'm thinking that because I'm just too loud and stuff, So, but like I said, I threw away my Japanese common sense long time ago. If you have that in the United States, you might as well go home to Japan.
Yeah.
It's not work.
You cannot live exactly the same way how you're living in Japan. And that's a great segue. So, living in the United States, I'm pretty sure you have learned a lot. So what is one, I know you said you've already thrown away all the Japanese common sense and all that. So what is one Japanese cultural value that you took that you respect most? And then one cultural value that you need to really drop and adjust? For you, it might be not just one, but if you can share one to really fit into the American culture.
So, one thing I love about Japanese people and Japan, very respectful. That I would like to respect that. And I sometimes have to be careful because, I'm very outspoken and I forget that. 心遣い, the respect and just to very detailed when you think about other people. It's very detailed and don't bother other people, that kind of things. But on the other hand, that could be a weakness also. So that's something that I needed to, one of the advice my pastor gave me is, as Japanese women, you don't say much, but you expect other people to know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Like as a
Yeah.
wife and American people, like my husband, they take everything at face value. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Right. So if I don't say it, they don't expect it. They don't do
Yeah,
it.
especially
Right.
men,
Right.
if you
Especially
say,
men.
if you're upset, like this is something that I read a book called like Men from Mars and Woman from
Yes.
Venus.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
this one, specific one, says, if you're upset and if you say, if the guy asks you like, what's wrong? And if you say nothing, he thinks that's nothing. Like
Right.
he thinks that you're fine. So if you're mad, you have to communicate and you have to express. So I completely agree with you on that one.
Yeah, it's hard, but Japanese people are like that. That's one thing I had to adjust. I had to really say what I mean or what I
Yeah.
want,
Yeah.
and really
Because
stand
there's no such a cultural value with like a kuki or yomu type of
right.
culture. It doesn't exist here. So,
No. Well,
yeah.
sometimes you do. It's like, ooh, this is awkward, that kind of
Oh,
thing.
yeah. Uh
It
huh.
does happen, but not like Japanese people. In Japanese culture, it's always there. So I have to make sure, am I in a, like, I stick out a lot because of that. Just like totally oblivious to what's going on, like,
Yeah.
hey, why is everybody quiet? That kind of thing.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's end with the Emmy style. So
Hmm.
I would like you to empower, motivate, and inspire all the women who are listening to this show to be more confident and start living their meaningful life without worrying about someone else's opinion. So for you, how do you define your own self confidence, and how are you building your own?
Self-confidence, like I said, self-confidence, I think it's a journey. So, one thing that I decided to do was, who am I? We need to really know who I am, who you are. And with me, God created me. God created me to be special, and I'm unique. So you really have to know that. And I
Yeah.
didn't know that. I didn't think that I was worthy. So you are worthy enough that God created you. You are here. So that itself is golden. And God knows you, the number of hairs that you have, and He cares so much about you. And even if you're not a Christian, that the fact that your parents created you and you
Yeah.
are here, you're existing. So that is the core value that you need to keep in mind. You are special, you're unique.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh my gosh, I am just so
yeah.
loving with that message, and thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why this is the very first core thing that you have
Yeah.
to do. And also, if you want to do something, do it. Don't be like me, who's like thinking and thinking and plan. I think one thing that's good, like Japanese people are good at, like writing things
Writing.
down and, plan things. Well,
Going to really detail.
detail. But if you don't take action, that's worthless.
True.
So you just have to do it. Just
Yeah.
try it and then tweak it. And that was one thing that I wish I did a little bit more, because I plan. And then when you start, nothing goes as planned.
Yes. Thank you. Yes. So true.
So you just have to, it's like, okay, well, I'm just going to start doing it and tweak as you go. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. It's
And
like having a baby. Like you plan
yeah,
everything, even a birth plan. But
yeah,
sometimes people have to face the emergency C-section, and even if you have a plan, like you cannot go through that neither. So this is like a
yeah,
perfect. Yeah.
you're right.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, one thing that I have to share this is that it's not like I'm all put together. I'm still going through that. And last couple of weeks, it's been really tough. I've been overwhelmed. And I feel like I'm letting go of other, like, important things. Like Mamapreneurs Club, for example. That's my baby. That's my passion.
Yeah.
Yet I had to let go of some areas because of my personal things, like my mother-in-law just fractured the pelvis, and my boys just finished school year, and a lot of things are going on, and time just passes by, right? But my coach also told me this, is that you just have to give give yourself permission to
Yeah.
let go, and just know that things will be there when you are ready to go back in.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that I have to keep in mind, because I'm like one of those people, oh, I got to do it now. I got to do it now,
Yeah.
Now, its momentum is now. Well, no,
Yeah.
it's there. So,
These are all great. Well, thank you so much. Wow. It's just like this right there. Like I can just like stop and like everybody just listen to this part, like right here,
yeah,
and you'll learn so much. So thank
thank
you. So
you.
the last thing is what kind of, I'm all about action, like you said. You have to implement everything. Like you can't just plan it. So, what kind of actionable advice would you give to women who are, feeling not confident enough to start something or transition her career, and if they want to do, if they want to move out to another country and do something, or if you really want to start a business, whatever that is, like whatever the things that she really wants to do. So, what kind of advice would you give to women?
Yeah. So, when I first moved here, I was thinking, okay, well, I want to learn English, right? I wanted
Yeah.
to learn English, and that was it. I really didn't have any plans or anything. And I was sort of swayed into my friends and just be here.
Yeah.
And speaking English here isn't something special. Everybody
Right.
speaks English here, you
Yes.
know.
Thank you. Yes.
So it wasn't special. And so what I was saying is that I wanted people to think why you want to do what you want to do
Right.
first before you jump in. And when you're young, yeah, that's what say, hey, I want to live in Hawaii, or I want to, go to America and learn English. And that's great. But you really need to know why you want to do that. So if I had actually a plan to come here, learn English, go back to Japan, and wanted to be a translator. But I fell in love with the country, fell in love with the culture, and I just felt this is me. So I decided to stay. But, there are a lot of people who just stay because they met somebody.
Yeah.
But they still talk about, they yearn for Japan. And if that's the case, this may not be the place, and, and also what I was saying is, if you're just learning English here, and do you think that's enough? It's not. So you really have to dig in who you are and what you want to do, why
Yeah.
you want to do, that kind of thing. So otherwise, if you don't know that, if you don't know why, when the time comes, when you hit the wall, and you will hit the wall.
Yeah.
I hit the wall every day sometimes.
Yeah.
And when you do that, then you have to ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why am I here even? And that's a question I think we have to all ask ourselves.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I was like literally thinking about myself when I came here for college, right? And I totally hit the wall, and I kind of lost myself, and it's just exactly because I thought that I'm gonna come here to master English, click and like quote unquote master English, and then
And then what?
of course everybody was speaking English, and I'm like, okay, I'm here to get a degree. Okay, well, you're here to get a degree, but and what do you want to do with that degree? Like, it's like everything is like, oh my gosh, like only thought about the surface and didn't really dig in, and it was just a nightmare. But I'm so glad that I had that experience, because from
Yeah.
there I had learned so much. So
And you grow
yes,
from it. You grow.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so too. And you know, you are awesome that you went through the master's degree and everything. And I, on the other hand, didn't. So it really hung over me that, hey, my friends graduated, you know, bachelor's and master's and PhD sometimes. And here I am. I got caught in this domestic violence, abusive relationship, and I had a child. And, you know, so I totally like immerse myself into proving myself. I'm worthy. I'm worthy. I'm worthy. And I got tired. I think, you
Yeah.
know, but so that's because I didn't know who I am. I wasn't firm with who I am.
Yeah.
And now I'm 50 years old and I'm still searching and I'm almost, you know, it's like I don't think I'll ever get there until I go to heaven. But I'm at least searching and I'm pretty content with where I'm going, where I am, where I'm going, you know. So
Yeah.
I became more clear and was
Yeah.
grateful for that.
Yeah, and it's so funny you brought up about my master's degree, and I've never shared this with anybody, but I want to share.
Hmm.
So, so that was back then when I was still, when was it? That was right before my first daughter was born. So back in 2010, right? That was, I was still kind of like trying to climb up to this like corporate ladder,
Hmm.
and I didn't really see myself as a value, right? So it's kind of funny. I got my master's degree. That was free because I work for a university. So I'm like,
Mm.
why not,
Yeah, why
right?
not? Yeah,
Yeah. And then the
awesome.
other thing was, I didn't know the reason why I took it, but I wanted to prove myself to the world that I can do it. And I also wanted to, I thought that I needed it to prove myself that I'm good enough. Like, if I knew I'm good enough already, I mean, I would still have taken it just because it's free.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
still, like, I actually didn't have a big purpose or a big mission, actually. It's more like, it's if I have one, I think I can prove the world that, I have a master's degree, and also it will look good on my resume. So I wasn't really confident enough back then. So
yeah.
it's so funny you mentioned, because I was just like thinking like, wow, like this is kind of crazy, because I took my degree, I got my master's degree, but with not a huge intention. It was because simply it was free and I thought that I needed to have it. So
Yeah,
there you
you
go.
know what? I think in Japan, I don't know, maybe Asian countries, not just Japan, have a lot of emphasis in, so what school did you go to?
Oh my
And
gosh,
what kind
yes.
of degree do you have? You know, you might hear that in the United States too, but there are a lot of successful people who didn't go to college or graduate.
Nope.
And
All the like Bill Gates and what is his name? Oh, I can't believe we forgot. Steve
or
Jobs. Thank you. Yep.
so yeah, that's what I like about here in this country. If you have intent, if you have confidence, if you have a dream, you can go for it, and
Yeah, that's
nobody will
true.
say anything. I mean, people may stop you. Yeah, there are always those crabs out there,
Uh huh.
but hey, you just have to keep doing what you're doing. And the difference is sometimes in Japan, everybody grabs you down. So that's
Yeah.
the thing. I think that's one of the areas that I really don't care for.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going back to Japan in this summer for six
Ooh.
weeks. So I'm
Just don't
really,
raise your hand too much,
I
okay?
know, I know, right? And I shouldn't be talking so loud on the bus or train
Yeah.
or
And
laughing.
don't even try to start a small talk.
Yeah, that's right.
People will look like you're like weird. Like, why are you talking to
Oh,
me right now?
serious? I can't
No,
do that?
no, I'm
Oh,
just joking.
so where are you from? One time it's so funny. In the train, that
Yeah.
sometimes they get really crammed right into the
Yeah.
train. So somebody started touching my butt. And I was originally American. So I said, what? What was that? In English.
Oh,
It was a reflex, because
yeah. It came natural to you.
it was just natural. I was like, what? What was that? And I looked and the hand quickly pulled out. I was like, I didn't know who that was.
Yeah.
But it was like my heart was like pounding.
Yeah.
But I said it really loud. And I tell those Japanese women, if something like that happened, just say, what's going on? Then maybe people just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Hand
No, it's better to say something.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I was in a rush hour train, I grabbed somebody's hand because I was kind of like preparing for it because it was a really, really like rush, it was a jam-packed train. I grabbed his hand and I know who he was, but I could not say anything. I don't remember how old I was, but I couldn't say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's so gross.
I know. It's not okay to touch somebody else's booties. Nope.
No.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for all this. Like, I can talk to you like forever.
I know, right?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, but now I like to. Well, obviously, I was giving you all the spotlight, but I'm gonna give you my mic, hand it to you, and just tell us, how we can connect with you, and then, I would really love to talk more about the current business that you're doing, and all that. So here's my mic. So go for it.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for the opportunity. Everybody can just look for me, Miki Sturges, on Facebook because that's where I'm at. Facebook is where I hang out. And I do have a Facebook Mamapreneurs Club page. And I hang out a lot with LuLaRoe with Miki Sturges group. So I would love to have you guys join my group and hang out with me. And so that's where I hang out. And I do have Instagram, I do have Twitter and all that stuff. But I think Facebook is the best place to hang out with me. Yes.
Yep, and then I'll make sure to put all the links that you have mentioned, especially your last name. I don't even know how to spell it. I mean, I can see it right now with the Skype thing, but if I were to try to guess it, it's a very difficult last name. I had to practice your last name.
And also, what I wanted to do was for the listeners of Emmy Style, I would love to offer free shipping for LuLaRoe products.
Yay! So that's only for US.
Yes.
Right?
But, just talk to me. I just can't advertise it. Yeah. So.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then can you maybe talk a little bit more about just like the company LuLaRoe? Can you mention that a little bit for that?
So,
whatever that you're allowed to talk, because I know LuLaRoe has like a very, very strict rules. So
but LuLaRoe is a clothing company. It's very comfortable. Legging, I thought this was a legging company. It's actually not. Just a legging is part of it. It's so soft and comfortable, and it hugs you, and it's really soft. And it's a Mormon company, so they're very modest.
Is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a very modest clothing, so it's not revealing. And it has dresses. We have dresses and tops.
The dress that you're wearing right now?
Yes.
So pretty.
And tops and skirts. Their skirts are so cute. Yeah, and they have different designs. And it might be too loud for Japanese people, but you gotta try it. Look at this.
Oh my gosh, I love it. It's
right?
it's not, and the color is not too bright. I like it. And I gotta tell you something. So I have been, going to school to drop off my kids in the morning, right? I've seen so many women wearing a super cute leggings and then thinking, oh wow, all these women, they're gonna go work out, right? And then after, when the time is ready to pick up the kids, they're still wearing the same outfit. I'm like, wait a minute, what is going on with this legging things? And I've seen people driving a car with the stickers is LuLaRoe, and I didn't even know how to read it at first. And somebody introduced me this product, and I was like, what is this? And she's like, well, I have a lot of things, so why don't you just wear it? And I wore it. Oh my gosh, I'm in love with that feeling. It's so comfortable.
I know.
So now I wear them all the time, and sometimes I wear it to go to school to drop off my kids, and it's just comfortable. The
Very
material
comfortable.
is very soft. So those who
Mhm.
are interested, I'm allowed to say, right? Because
Yes,
I'm not, yeah. So for
totally.
those people who are listening and who are living in US, I don't think they have the company in Japan. Just
No.
because I have both listeners in Japan and I mean, actually, it's all over, but I think this is only for US. So people who are
Right.
living in US and curious what it is, Miki has the Facebook group,
Yes.
and then I know sometimes you do like giveaways and stuff because
Yes.
since I love free stuff. So I just want to
Yes, I
mention that
do.
out there.
Right. Actually, I just started this
Uh-huh.
month of May. So I'm doing a lot of giveaways right now. So
Yeah.
yeah, this might be a
Yeah.
time to do that. Even if
Okay.
you're in Japan, I still want you to just check it out,
Oh
So
yeah, definitely. I think so. And then, I mean, if you have friends in US, maybe you can have
yeah,
have you ship it to your friends or something, and then from there you can get the shipment, whatever that is. But it's so cute, and if you yeah, I mean, like I want everybody to at least try one because it's so
so
comfortable.
comfortable. I know that's what it is. And when I got my first leggings, I was looking for tops that covers, that private
Uh huh.
area,
Yep.
so
Yep. Uh
long
huh.
enough. I could not find anything, and so I said, okay,
Uh,
I guess I have to go to LuLaRoe and buy their tops because their
yeah.
tops are long enough that
Uh
covers
huh.
your
It
butt
covers.
and
Yeah.
front area. So it's really comfortable. Yeah,
Yep. Yeah.
and
If
also,
you
you
don't.
know what, I do offer. Still, I'm not doing. I set aside my coaching program, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
not doing that anymore. But I am somehow probably go back in the future.
Mm-hmm.
If
Mm-hmm.
you need some advice in like how to start getting your direct sales or
Uh huh.
network marketing business
Network. Uh huh.
going,
Yeah.
I'm happy to give some advice on that.
Okay. Yeah. So with that one, then, how do we contact you? Is it just to
Yeah, you can
send you
just
an
send me.
email?
I
Okay.
think Facebook is the best. Just
Okay.
look for me, Miki
Great.
Sturges, on Facebook. And
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much for all this
yeah,
amazing stories. Well, I mean, like I said, I can talk to you forever, but obviously
yeah,
we're
so,
gonna end somewhere. So thank you so much, and I
thank
hope you're gonna have a wonderful day. Okay.
yeah, thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye. There you have it. I hope you had enjoyed my conversation with Miki. She had shared so many great stories, especially when she was talking about her real story about her being a victim of domestic violence. It must be very hard for her to open up and tell a story like this. I mean, that obviously that didn't happen for a while, and now she has the courage, she had the confidence to share and teach other women that, or teach or empower other women to really tell herself and say, "Hey, it's not your fault. You gotta need to get out of the situation and get some help." What I have learned from Miki is that those victims, they tend to really take it on to themselves. So please know that there are some help out there, and I'm pretty sure Miki can also be your help as well. So if you know someone who might be in a situation, or if you are happen to be in a situation, I highly recommend to reach out to Miki as well. I would like to tell you a special announcement. I love this. Okay, so like I said, I had a mini chat with Miki earlier over the internet, and she is offering, not only she's offering about her Lulalo free shipping, and for those who are living in Japan, she would like to talk to you. So definitely reach out to her. And she is also giving a very secret little gift if you mention that you have listened to this podcast, or you mention about my name Emiko at the end of the order, then you will get a secret, a very secret, and it's a very special gift. And I actually do not know what it is, so I better check her out on her LuLaRoe store. I love their leggings. It's nice and comfy, so I should definitely get that. So Miki, thank you so much for offering that, a very special and a secret offer as well. I also wanted to just highlight one thing and I will let you go. Miki said, life doesn't go as you plan, but it is okay to tweak as you go. It is super, super, super important. It's, as a Japanese professionals, I know that we're really good at planning and writing it down to be really detailed about it. But if we don't do anything, if we don't take action, nothing's going to happen. And of course, even if you have planned this perfect, you have a master, this perfect plan, life doesn't go the way how you plan it. So you have to be okay with just going to a different direction or just wing it. All right. So please remember, as Miki said, you are special and you are a very unique individual. So you are amazing and awesome. And thank you so much for listening. And I will catch you on the next episode. Have a wonderful day. Bye. Thank you so much for spending the time with me today. Make sure to subscribe to Her Confidence, Her Way podcast and leave a review, which will help this podcast to be more visible so that other women can find this podcast easily. For free monthly newsletter, free private Her Confidence, Her Way community, and learn how you can get free weekly lesson to help you build your self-confidence, go to www.theemmystyle.com. Ladies, you don't need a permission from someone else to believe yourself. Just be you, because you are amazing. Let's support each other and keep on building your confidence.